Sometimes we look at something from the outside and make quick judgments. A house, for example. You walk by, see a strange, simple, or even ugly facade, and immediately assume there's nothing special inside. But what if I told you that one of the most surprising stories about creativity in architecture started exactly like this? A house that everyone laughed at when it was built, mocked by neighbors, treated as a joke. Until one day, someone finally stepped inside and realized it was unlike anything they had ever seen. This is the story of a man who ignored ridicule, followed his own vision, and created a house that nobody could forget. And I promise that if you stay with me until the end, you will be shocked by what was hidden inside a place that started as a laughingstock and ended as a marvel. It all began with an eccentric man. In a small town, surrounded by neat traditional houses, trimmed lawns, and clean symmetrical windows, there appeared someone named Horace Burgess. He wasn't an architect, not an engineer, not even a man with formal building education. He was just a pastor with a stubborn idea: to build the largest wooden house the world had ever seen. When Horace started his project, people didn't believe him. What they saw was a pile of wood, improvised structures, and an uneven facade that looked nothing like the elegant houses around it. With each new level, he added, more neighbors passed by and laughed. They called it the crazy house. They said it would collapse, that it was just a pile of random boards nailed together. Horace heard the jokes but kept hammering, building and climbing higher. From the outside, it really did look chaotic. No symmetry, no polish. Like a tree with twisted branches, or several houses glued on top of each other. But what no one realized was that Horace had a clear vision. Inside, his house would be a masterpiece. Years passed, and the construction grew. 10 stories in total, over 3,000 square meters, all built with recycled wood collected from different places. Spiral staircases rose endlessly. Walkways connected one room to another. And at the very heart of the house, he even built a chapel where services could be held. Little by little, what looked like madness became a fascinating labyrinth. That was when things changed. The first people who stepped inside were stunned. From the street, it looked like a mess about to fall apart. Inside, it was a whole other world. Bedrooms, secret corridors, hanging balconies, suspended walkways, and even a sanctuary in the middle of it all. It was like walking into a living dream, something impossible to imagine until you saw it with your own eyes. Reactions spread fast. The house stopped being a joke and became a tourist attraction. People from all over the country traveled to Crossville, Tennessee, just to see what was now called the world's largest wooden house. Those who once laughed now applauded. But admiration wasn't the only reaction. Engineers criticized the lack of safety. Firefighters warned that the entire wooden structure was a fire hazard. And in 2019, tragedy struck when the house was destroyed by fire. Even so, Horace's legacy was already secured. He proved that an idea once ridiculed could become something remarkable. He showed that appearances deceive. Those who only looked from outside saw disorder and nonsense. Those who dared to step inside discovered creativity, ingenuity, and an unforgettable achievement. And Horace's house isn't the only example. Around the world, many buildings began as jokes and ended as icons. Take the famous dancing house in Prague, mocked at first, but today a landmark. Or the Nautilus House in Mexico, criticized when it was revealed, but later praised as a piece of genius. Again and again, stories like these prove the same point. What looks absurd outside often hides brilliance inside. So think about it. How many times do we laugh at what we don't understand? How many times do we dismiss something just because it doesn't fit the standard? Horace's house became a reminder that behind a strange facade, there can be wonders waiting to be discovered. Picture yourself walking into that house. From the street, a pile of wood that looks like it could collapse. But inside, an endless labyrinth of staircases, secret passages, a chapel, and a sense that you've stepped into another world. You'd get lost quickly, but at the same time, feel awe at the vision of one man who refused to give up. And that's the beauty of this story. Because it isn't just about a house. It's about how we see the world. It's about how genius often arrives disguised as madness. It's about how persistence can turn ridicule into legacy. In the end, the lesson is clear. The next time you see something strange, before you laugh, ask yourself, what if inside there's something incredible? Now, I want to hear from you. Would you have the courage to walk inside a house like Horace's, even if from the outside it looked ready to fall apart? Or would you stay on the sidewalk, judging by appearance alone? Leave your opinion in the comments. Share this story with someone who always judges by the facade, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Because the world is full of places, people, and ideas that may look ridiculous at first, but hide amazing secrets behind closed doors.